but hey, and even though it's early, I mean, that's a great sign for them for the rest of the game. And no question, he got bumped. Assistant staff say whether it's breaking down video with assistants or honing his skills, he is really a hard worker.
Anthony Jennings picks him up defensively. Feeds it to Brewer. Takes it off the glass. And Drummond came in as the youngest player in the league, Clark. Certainly a pretty raw skill one.
Yeah, but you could see the potential. And the biggest thing there, showing some leadership.
Jennings with the rebound.
Hey, the defense was right there, just waiting. Doing a nice job of anticipating that play.
Steve, every team needs tough interior defense to be successful.
An indication there of why the scoreboard looks like it does. Very passive defense.
But the finish was anything but passive.
No, he hammered that down, Clark. Superb above the rim action.
Well, you know, struggling offensively, he's got to be happy, guys, to see that go in. I mean, he had missed his 5 prior shots.
No good from McCoy.
And you know why he was open there. They didn't commit too much defense to him, and you can see why. He has trouble making that shot.
Here's from deep. Terry grabs the board. Rockets trail by 5. Here's Brewer. Throws it down as the official calls the foul. It may be a three-point play. It's on Caron Butler.
Make your threes.
For B. And a switch here also for Houston. McDaniels checked in with the new group. And then for Houston, Trevor Ariza's checked in for Brewer. Harden comes in for McDaniels, and it's Patrick Beverly in for Jason Terry. So on the floor for Houston, Beverly and Harden man the backcourt. Howard is out there with Smith, and it's Ariza in at the 3 spot. And there's a whistle that's going to go on James Harden. That is his first foul of the game.
What a great play to sacrifice his body and take the hit.
Yeah, I thought that was excellent awareness and anticipation to beat him to the spot there.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, over to you.
Well, Kevin, Patrick Beverly could make the case for being the league's most disruptive defender at point guard. He said, quote, "I know some people might not like my defense, but I don't really care. I'm physical, I'm tough, and I'm setting the tone. I don't look at the numbers. I just go out there and I guard everyone exactly the same. And that's aggressively, Kevin. Exactly what they're looking for."
He gets after it. Nothing easy. Thanks, Doris. Pass to McCoy. Pulls it up. And he hits the jumper for 2. B's got 5 points now in the quarter. About 3 minutes played so far in the second quarter. Inside, here's Harden. Terrific assist. A nice finish. Solid play all around.
Boy, they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing that ball into the paint. Smash mouth basketball.
Yeah, and it's a strategy that has served them well in this opening half, Clark.
Last game for Houston, they picked up the win against the Boston Celtics.
They looked very stable, pretty much from the get-go, guys. A solid output, solid effort. And, you know, sometimes you'll see some inconsistencies come up in a road game, but they were pretty solid there.
I was very impressed with the balance they displayed, guys. Different people carrying the load, scoring, making assists, unselfish play. Everything was working for them to get that victory.
And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for the Pistons.
Well, I think the defensive aggressiveness on display here has caught them off guard, playing airtight defense and coming up with the steals.
Yeah, and I've noticed also that their quick hands have led to a lot of forced turnovers. They're getting some points in transition as a result.
Here's Meeks. That's good. Meeks got 12 in the game. Harden dishes to Smith. Good work defensively by Monroe.
Had a pretty good look at the basket, but defensively they did a nice job rotating, forcing the miss.
Andre Drummond, arguably the league's greatest combination of size and athleticism since Dwight Howard. Maybe a shade less of a leaper, but when you look at Drummond's quickness, absolutely incredible. He's 6'11", 270 pounds, and he really does move like a guard.
So for the Pistons, their last game a loss to the 76ers in Philadelphia.
And I think they can be proud of the way they performed. I mean, they executed. They really brought energy to the game. It just didn't go their way.
You know what? That was a tough game played in a tough environment on the road, Steve, and they were right in it until the closing moment.
And no question, he got bumped on that shot.
Definitely no room for discussion on that one. James Harden with those rush hour handles Whether it's breaking his man down in isolation or running the pick and roll, he keeps that thing on a string.
Brandon Jennings, he's checked in for Jody Meeks. Monty Eunice is checked in for Houston. We've got 1:13 left to play here in the second quarter. And Harden, a left-hander. Defenders tend to have more trouble, it seems, guys, with softballs.
Well, and especially with Harden because of how crafty he is. He's got that Manu Ginobili Euro move, the change of speed, change of direction, and then the strength. I mean, that's what separates him. He draws contact and seems to just go right through players. Well, he's clearly feeling it, Clark, coming off that fantastic game last time out.
Passes it to McCoy. There's 42 seconds left here in the second. That drops. He's got 11. Rockets trailed by 13. Beverly, the pass to Harden. Now the feed to Beverly. Back to Harden. Shoots from the corner. Rebounded by the Pistons. 17 points was their biggest margin. They'll be playing host to Miami for the next game. And that game is the second of two straight at home. And that one's good. Here is Harden. He's coming off a 19-point game against Boston.
And how about his defense? 4 steals on the night. He was so aggressive.
Kicks it to Monty Eunice. Ariza outside. In low to Howard. Harden outside. From deep. That drops. 18 points for him.
How about that? They respond to a three-pointer with a quick three of their own.
Yeah, terrific. Great back-and-forth sequence right there.
And that does.
Josh, what?
Hey guys, listen up. We've got a good lead, but lots of basketball left to play.
Well, it's been a one-sided affair so far. And so the Pistons take the win. They came, they saw.
Well, I'm sailing. Oh, yeah.
We are live from the Palace of Auburn Hills for this Eastern Conference battle featuring the Pistons here in Detroit. Welcome, everyone. I'm Kevin Harlan, joined by Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke. As we get set to bring a different look here for Detroit. Tolliver comes in for Greg Monroe. And Caron Butler is subbed in for Tayshaun Prince. On the floor for Miami, Dang and Bosch are the 3 and 4. D-Wade out there with Dragic, and it's Whiteside in at the 5 down low. Wade kicks to Dragic. Bosch sets the pick for Dragic. 4 on the clock. Dang can't get it to go.
You know, he's been off his game this quarter just a bit. Hasn't been able to get a whole lot to go so far.
Make some noise, Detroit.
And let's take a look now at the numbers for Dwayne Wade. Some kind of performance he's been turning in and night out these past 4 or 5 weeks. 10th in assists, 11th in steals, and he's been quite an offensive threat, averaging points to put him in the top 20 in scoring.
And, you know, looking again, Steve, at his place among the top 10 assist men, he's been providing a lot of room service dimes to his teammates, and I hope they appreciate it.
Outside Dragic. Out to Wade. A floater. Rebound by the Pistons. Coming into this, having notched a win against the Rockets in their last.
Able to win despite.
Brandon Jennings acquired in a sign and trade by the Pistons last season on a 3-year, $24 million contract.
Jennings probably expecting more in terms of the deal. But look, maybe it was a wake-up call for him. You know, he has not been part of a winning team yet. And generally speaking, you know, stats alone don't get you max contracts. Stats and wins are what do that, and that's what's next for Jennings.
No good from McCoy.
Rebounding is going to be the focal point for them in this one, fellas. I can feel it.
Yeah, it's a physical game, and so far the numbers show that they've got the edge on the glass.
Dang passes to Wade. And he comes off the screen to bury the jump shot. Wade's got 8. We'll see if they want to trade 2 for 1 here.
Well, you got to time up the clock. It's easier said than done, but you got to execute your offense on that first possession.
Outside Dragic. Bosch, a screen on Jennings. Dragic dishes to Dang. Back to Dragic. The feed to Bosch. Wade with no one around. That one wide left.
It looked like an easy 2 points right there.
You know he's kicking himself for that miss.
He tries for 3. Dang grabs the miss. Dang's got his 3rd rebound tonight. 1 second left. And that concludes a back-and-forth, high-scoring first quarter of play. Pistons. 2. Well, it's been a tight one so far as we get the second quarter going. Detroit going with an almost entire new group here. Drummond's checked in for Sean Williams. Butler comes in for Tayshaun Prince. He's checked in for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. And it's Jennings in for Jody Meeks. And a new group in for the Heat. Whiteside's checked in for Anderson. Bosch comes in for Udonis Haslem. Dwayne Wade's checked in for Luol Deng. And it's Dragic in for Napier. And for Miami, looking who they've got out there. They've got Chalmers. Chris Bosh is out there with Whiteside. Then there's Dragic. And it's Wade in at the free slot. And that one's good.
You know, the height difference there is huge, but he canceled it out with great body control in the air.
Exactly, Steve. He got to the hoop and wouldn't allow himself to be manhandled by the big boy.
And the Pistons making a change here. Tolliver's checked in. Here's McCoy. Sinks the three-pointer. He's got his second bucket of the night. 1:43 left in the first half. Wade against Butler. The 3 from Chalmers. It's Drummond with the rebound. Drummond's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Jennings kicks to Butler. Here's McCoy. Miami grabs the miss. Whiteside's got 4 rebounds in this game. Dragic with it, and Jennings picks him up defensively. Wade kicks to Whiteside. Whiteside Bosch. 6 to shoot. Drains it from 17 feet out. Bosch has got 8.
That jump shot has been a dimension of this game where they've had a clear advantage.
Yeah, they've been pulling up and watching them go down.
And out of bounds as the Heat gain possession.
Where was he going with that pass? I mean, that's just an awful turnover.
Wade drives in. That's good. Wade's got 5 points in the quarter.
He's been one of their more reliable options today, guys. I mean, his shooting has led them to this lead.
Dragic against Jennings. Goes up at the stripe, and that one's good. 10 points for him.
Tell you what, despite that hot start from long range, they've really gotten away from the three-point shot now.
And I know that's sacrilegious to you, Steve. I mean, being a shooter and all in your past, You figure you should be firing away from out there at all times, but the mid-range game and in-between games served me quite well. But that hasn't been the best meal ticket for them here in the second half. You got to go with what you do best.
1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. To the wing right side. Beyond the arc. No luck.
And I think the work on the boards has been a big key for their success in this game, guys.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, it's been total control on the boards for them.
And through the...
Thank you, Kevin. Coach, what exactly...
All right, let's get our heads on straight. This is not what these people came to see.
And as we welcome you back, we begin our...
Let's see what you got, son.
Oh, I got...
Checks in for Andre Drummond. Butler comes in for Tayshaun Prince. And it's Caldwell Pope in for Jody Meeks. And a new group in for the Heat. Chris Anderson is checked in for Whiteside. Haslam comes in for Chris Bosh. Mario Chalmers, he's checked in for Dwayne Wade. And it's Napier in for Goran Dragic. You've got Monroe. Jennings out there with Caldwell Pope. And it's Ferran Butler. And it's Williams at the 4 spot. That's the 5 and the 4 for the Pistons. He's checked in for Brandon.
Pistons dancers, make some noise, Detroit.
Formed over the last month in the NBA league rankings. 8th in three-point field goal percentage. 13th in scoring. And then the top half of the league in getting high percentage shots as well. Not too shabby.
Yeah, this is a team that shoots the ball well, and I think the key is their accuracy from the three-point line. You look at that number in the top 10, as you talked about, Clark. You know, they've leaned on this of late particularly, and I think their success from the three-point line has really allowed their offense to open up and become more balanced. Greg Monroe, 6'11", 250, the ability to play the 4 or the 5 spot. And his combination of size and skill makes him very coveted around the league.
And Monroe, very left-hand down, much better scoring from that side of the floor.
Yeah, and while being a lefty does throw defenders off, I think developing his right hand is something that will help him even get better as he moves forward.
Anthony Tolliver, he's checked in for Williams.
Well, the Miami Heat, since the Big Three assembled, have been a polarizing team. Some fans rooted for them, others rooted against them. Either way, they've been an incredible story for the league and have become just a huge draw around the NBA.
Left side, Anderson. 1:06 left in the third quarter. Here the 4th league scene in the East.
And while they might have lost a bunch of the bandwagon fans, by no means is this team finished with being a title threat. There's just too much talent on this roster, and for the first time in a long time, they might enjoy being viewed as underdogs.
Caldwell Pope passes to McCoy. Second chance shot. Monroe, no good. The Heat leading by 12. 1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. Kept alive. The kick out to Anderson. Passes to Napier. He feeds it to Chalmers. Here's Napier. And another shot. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. The Heat have shot 80% from the line tonight, going 4 of 5 so far.
Now, collectively, this is a 73% free throw shoot.
Stop settling for threes.
A tad worse, so not too bad.
Here is Lucas.
And this game is finally getting away from them.
Yep, it has gotten away. There's not really anything they can do now.
On the floor for Miami, Bosh and the Birdman, Chris Anderson at the 4 and 5. On the perimeter, Wade and Dang. And it's Dragic in at the point. And so it's Miami winning this one.
Chris, tell us a little...
Man, I know the team had a bad night, but I feel a little better knowing that it wasn't as bad as your night.
Hey, man, back off, all right? It's not like you led us to victories while I try to bring us down. You're not perfect.
Relax, man. I'm just messing with you. Just let it go. Get back on that horse tomorrow.
Whatever. You're not the one to embarrass yourself on national TV out there, are you?
Chill.
Nah, man, you chill. All right, I gotta get some rest. Gotta put up an extra 1,000 jumpers tomorrow. Get my stroke back. I'm out of here.
Coming to you live on 2K Sports, this is the NBA. Hi, everyone. Kevin Harlan alongside my broadcast partner, Steve Kerr. Now Hill. He's coming off a 13-point game against Sacramento. And Detroit, looking at who they've got. Monroe and Drummond there inside. Jennings and Meeks in the backcourt. And it's Prince in at the 3. Here's George. George in the first year of a 5-year max-level contract extension.
Shooting for Indiana, Paul George.
Marquee and how it's big and bright. And, you know, his play last season left no question in a lot of people's mind that he's worth every dollar.
Yeah, there are only about a dozen or so guys that are worthy of max contracts, in my opinion. He's clearly one because he's gotten better every season. He hungers to be great. And he's a tremendous two-way player, potentially a guy who could be Defensive Player of the Year at some point in his career.
Here's Hill. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Indiana moving it around. George dishes to Hill. Feeds to Stuckey. Hibbert the pass to Stuckey. Rocket 6. Fires from 14, and he gets it to go. Stuckey's got his first points of the night. Detroit's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Over to the wing. McCoy is guarded by Stuckey. Here's Monroe. And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a three-point play.
You know, they'll want to generate more of those shots in tight, guys.
So an entirely new group in now for Indiana. Mahinmi's checked in for Hibbert. Scola comes in for David West. Donald Sloan's checked in for Rodney Stuckey. And it's Watson in for George Hill. Then for the Pistons, Tolliver comes in for Drummond. And Caron Butler is subbed in for Tayshaun Prince. We've got 1:28 left to play in the first. And the pass to McCoy. The three-pointer, no good. Indiana leading. George with the ball. And Jennings picks him up defensively. Scola. Rebound, Detroit. They're moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of Miami.
Well, they heaved up a lot of ill-advised three-pointers in that loss. Guys, they were way too trigger-happy from downtown.
Yeah, and that's not the area on the court where you want to be forcing shots from. Heck, you were a great three-point shooter, and you know that, Steve.
Yeah, I mean, it comes and goes, but you can't just rely on that when things aren't going your way.
Detroit, no good that time either. Indiana's gone 1 or 2 from long range in the first quarter. And Mahimi with the stuff.
What a smooth finish.
Well, he's certainly the one they want on the end of those breaks. He always finishes strong.
We've got 28 seconds left in the first quarter. This one for 3. It's hauled in by George. Pacers leading by 4. Kicks it to Watson. George dishes to Watson. Passes it to Sloan. The feed now to Mahimi. And he converts the layup. Mahimi's got his second bucket.
The easiest way to do it sometimes is with the bounce pass.
Outside Jennings. Now the second quarter getting ready to start up. Now for Indiana. Roy Hibbert's checked in for Mahimi. West comes in for Luis Scola. Rodney Stuckey's checked in for Hill. And Donald Sloan subbed in for C.J. Watson. So Detroit going with an almost entire new group here. Greg Monroe, he's checked in for Drummond. Tolliver comes in for Williams. He's checked in for Caron Butler. And it's Jennings in for Jody Meeks. Paul George is the 3 with David West at the 4. Donald Sloan out there with Rodney Stuckey. And it's Hibbert in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. So that's the group out there for Indiana. Doubled by McCoy. Here's West. And the Pacers tack on 2 more.
I'll tell you what, he's made more than a few of those in his career.
Pistons trail by 7.
David West has the strength and skill to score in the low post, and he's got a nice ability to handle the ball to get to his spot. And he does not back away from contact. As a matter of fact, he invites it. He loves playing through contact.
Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession.
And now a look at Roy Hibbert. Some stats on him. His last 10 games, he's averaging 11 points a game, just over 2 blocks and 6 rebounds. There aren't many players out there with his ability to protect the rim. I'll tell you, his shot blocking stats have been amazing.
And, you know, those blocks, Steve, don't even take into account how many shots he's changed or bothered. The misses he's forced even when he doesn't get his hand on the ball.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Doris Burke. Hey, Doris.
Well, thanks, Kevin. Andre Drummond fell to the 9th pick in 2013 on concerns about his passion for the game. 2 years later, he certainly answered those questions and then some. He said, what's there not to love? You're playing the game that you love. Night in and night out. It's a passion game. Kevin, no one questioning his motor now.
The best offensive...
Shoot that fadeaway jumper. And these two just going at it from deep now.
You know, it seems like what's going on here is anything you can do, I can do better territory.
And Sloan kicks to Stuckey. He dishes it to West. And here's Jennings, the fast break opportunity. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Jennings has got 5 points so far.
Yeah, he didn't even bother to wait around for any help on that break.
That was a one-man job all the way, Steve. He knew what to do with it and when.
And it's George missing. Here's McCoy. Close game as we wrap up this.
Kevin, thank you.
All right, listen up, everybody. The second half doesn't have to be as close as the first.
The third quarter now beginning, both sides.
All right, you're up.
Oh, yeah.
Comes in for David West. And it's Watson in for Rodney Stuckey. Detroit also making some changes. Andre Drummond's checked in for Tolliver. Williams comes in for Monroe. And it's Butler in for Brandon Jennings. On the floor for Detroit, they've got Caron Butler. Andre Drummond is out there with Sean Williams. Then it's Jody Meeks. And it's Prince in at the 3 side. Just 4 to shoot. Butler passes to Meeks. Detroit, no good that time either.
Oh, boy, he is just cold as ice. The one to help them cut into the lead.
He's checked in for Tayshaun Prince. A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
In the break, guys, I listened in on Stan Van Gundy's huddle. The strategy included running the offense through B. Coach has a lot of faith in him offensively and let his players know it, insisting that he be at the forefront of what they do at that end of the court from here on out. Another part of what he said to them centered on his desire to see them shooting the ball every opportunity that presents itself. He said, fire away, guys. You've got the green light. Those are likely not the last adjustments they make today, guys. There's still time left in this one. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks again, Doris. Here's Meeks, averaging 9 points per contest. Outside Butler. From about 16, and misses it off the right side of the rim. Indiana leading by 13. Outside Hill. Here's Watson. Good. The assist goes to Hill. Watson's got 4 points this quarter.
This has been a one-sided game in just about every area. The lead continues to grow.
Absolutely. Their offense and their D have been equal parts outstanding.
And Meeks kicks to Butler. And he gets it to go.
Assisted by Jody Meeks.
Indiana's gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half.
Well, last season, the fans in Indiana finally came back in bunches to support their hometown Pacers. They're in the top 10 in attendance, up from 25th in 2013.
Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
Meeks dishes to Butler. Cranes the three-pointer. Butler's got 7 points in the game.
I'm not sure that was the play they had set up, but it was too good a look to pass it.
Now Watson, averaging 8 points a game. And the whistle.
Get in his face.
Rose checked in for Sean Williams. Hill comes in for C.J. Watson. Detroit also making some changes. Anthony Tolliver. He's checked in for Andre Drummond. Sean Williams checks in for Butler. And B's subbed in for Brandon Jennings. George and Score, they're the forwards. Rodney Stuckey out there with Hill. And it's Mahimi in at the 5, roaming the paint. So that's the group out there for Indiana.
Well, this is going to end in a lopsided victory, obviously. I love the tenacity and aggressiveness and the ability to close. You really have to give it up for the Pacers.
Clark, the bench gave him a big lift in this game.
Yeah, you always like to see that, Kevin, when your reserves can perform and help you pull out a win.
And now, on the year, this will take them to 28 wins.
Well, they've put themselves in the driver's seat as this applies to this season series. The win will give them a 2-1 edge with 1 game left.
And, you know, no matter what happens next time they meet, I think this was the biggest game they'll play against each other this season. Getting that 2-1 advantage means a lot.
Depth always a factor in wins like this, and what an incredible game out of nowhere it was for Paul George. He affected the game so much with the way he was able to come up with steals and get extra possessions for his team.
Hill kicks to George. Williams with the steal.
Probably time to just say it, guys. This game is over.
I think you're right on target there. Well, that's inexcusable to throw a pass that far off the mark.
Now 8 seconds separating the 2 clocks. Pass to Mahimi. Rebound, Detroit. 19 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Detroit, no good that time either.
And his mechanics are just all out of whack now. He just has no feel for his shot.
Well, his numbers certainly back that fact up. I mean, he has gone ice cold here.
Scola with it. So no problem.
Guys, Paul George.
UGLY.
Man, ugly doesn't even begin to describe what happened out there.
What would you like to call it?
Sorry, pathetic, garbage, embarrassing.
Just gotta let it go. Get back at it tomorrow. Study some film on what we did wrong. Hit the weight room, get some treatment, make up for the next time out.
Good idea. The quicker we get back out there, the quicker we can leave this nightmare behind us. Let's hit it.
Come on. Who died? You look a little nervous.
Well, I heard it's never a good thing to be called into the GM's office, especially the day your 10-day contract is up. So if you're going to release me, I would just appreciate it if you did it quickly.
I'm going to be brutally honest, kid. You haven't done enough to secure a regular roster spot.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Hey, wait. You have done enough to secure another 10-day contract, though.
Excuse me?
Yeah, I'm going to give you another shot to prove you belong in this league permanently, huh?
Hey, you won't regret it either. I'm going to make it awfully hard for you to let me go.
I hope so. Look, the contract's on my secretary's desk. You go sign that on your way out. Get out of here.
All right, thank you.
All right. Where's my lunch?
Yeah, another one of them flip mode joints. Bust around, y'all. Word mother, y'all. Check it out, y'all. Just swing to the left, swing to the right. Make it feel good, make it feel alright. One time, two. Great view from across the water, looking at a majestic Motor City skyline. This is the NBA on 2K Sports. Hi, everyone. Kevin Harlan joined by...
It's go time. Check in.
I'm on it.
Here is Lawson. He had 19 points in the win against Boston.
Yeah, no question. You look at his assist totals. I mean, they tell you what a nice job he was doing of really spreading that ball around.
So on the floor for Denver, Chandler and Fareed are at the forward spots. Boyle is out there with Lawson, and it's Nurkic in at the 5 spot. Monroe against Fareed. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
Well, Denver in the post-Melo collection of good players, but you always have to wonder if they'll have a low ceiling because this team does not have a so-called superstar.
And B subbed in for Detroit. Well, it's nice to see him get another go at this. Impressed so much in his first go-around with the team, they offered him another 10-day contract.
Well, I thought he definitely showed he wasn't overwhelmed, but with his second one, he'll need to show them something more in hopes that he'll be able to be signed for the rest of the season.
At that point, Denver's done well without what most would call a superstar, but obviously
Player, and yet they're still competitive.
Chandler's shot, good.
Good ball movement. He put that pass in the ideal spot, right where it needed to be.
1:44 left to play in the first quarter. Pass to McCoy. That falls. Great assist by Brandon Jennings.
Their offense already flowing. Some stellar shooting while jumping out to this lead.
Well, high-quality shots, and they've been on target with them.
Foy, the pass to Hickson. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot two right here.
J.J. Hickson, an absolute beast on the boards. Actually waived by the Kings back in 2012. Started 80 games the following season in Portland before signing a 3-year deal going into last year with the Denver Nuggets.
Looking at who's out there now for the Pistons. Anthony Tolliver. He's checked in for Andre Drummond. Williams comes in for Greg Monroe. And it's Caldwell Pope in for Brandon Jennings. Passes it to McCoy. From 18 feet away. And the jumper is good. He's got his second bucket tonight. Well, Clark, you talk about Hickson. He started at center for the Blazers 2 seasons ago.
You know, he's 6'9", a little undersized for that position, but he's physical enough to throw his weight around with anybody. Not a big-time shot blocker or defender, but his activity and his offensive ability make him a force in the middle. Another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively so far.
Yeah, I think that could really set things up well the rest of the game. Pound the ball inside and let your perimeter players play off your bigs.
Gallinari in the corner. It's hauled in by Tolliver.
Oh, that's a frustrating one there. Easy look at the hoop.
Now 8 seconds separating the two clocks. There's a screen. The shot by Butler. Nobody around. Here's McCoy. And Detroit again with the bucket. We've got 13 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Nelson kicks to Gallinari. Pass to Barton. Nelson, no one around him. From outside, off the mark. Welcome back, folks. We'll see if we're in store for more. Checked in for Sean Williams. He comes in for Meeks. And it's Jennings in for Caldwell Pope. And then for Denver, J.J. Hickson. He's checked in for Laverne. Chandler comes in for Gallinari. And Ty Lawson subbed in for Nelson. So on the floor for Denver, Wilson Chandler out there with Arthur. And there's Hickson. Then it's Lawson. And it's Barton in at the 2. Offensive rebound. Drummond dishes to Tolliver. Persistence pays off as they finally hit a shot. Tolliver's got his first points of the game. The Nuggets trail by 15. And here's Lawson. 6 points for him. Hickson with the ball. He's picked up by Drummond and stolen by Butler. Chandler against Jennings. Kicks it to Butler. It's back to Jennings. Cannot hit. Chandler with the defensive effort. Denver's gotten into trouble with the 3 ball in the second quarter, only hitting 1 of 5 attempts. .55 seconds left in the second quarter. 6 to shoot. Here's Barton. It's hauled in by Tolliver.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but in the rebounding department too, Clark.
Yeah, it's been a really gritty performance. They'll have some bruises to show for it, but that's the way it should be. You should feel that you've competed when you do that work inside.
Here's Hickson. That is in there. Lawson with the assist. Lawson's got 4 assists now tonight.
See the way he times his passes so well? That's a great assist.
Now 8 seconds separating the 2 clocks. Tolliver the pass to Drummond. Jennings kicks to Butler. It's back to Jennings. Pistons passing it around. McCoy. And they convert it last on attempt number 3. B's got 5 points in the quarter. Here's Lawson. He has 6. The pass to Barton. With 4 seconds on the clock, no luck.
And, you know, the rebounding edge here has been key because they're getting a lot of extra possessions offensively as a result.
Guys, you're absolutely right. It's made all the difference.
And through one.
Guys, that was the perfect way to start this game. Let's go over some stuff. And
Well, we're getting back to the action now. It's been a one. Xavier Caldwell-Pope, he's checked in for Brandon Jennings. And then for Denver, J.J. Hickson, he's checked in for Laverne. Molinari comes in for Wilson Chandler. And Jameer Nelson is subbed in for Ty Lawson. Monroe and Drummond there inside. Jody Meeks out there with Contavious Caldwell-Pope. And it's Prince in at the small forward position. That's the group for Detroit. Now, so for the Pistons, Williams, he's checked in for Drummond. And B's subbed in for Tayshaun Prince. Nelson kicks to Hickson. And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
Boy, J.J. Hickson was drafted into the NBA after just one season at NC State, and he's rounded into a quality player. Strong rebounder. He's got great activity at both ends. Has a decent mid-range touch as well, and when he finishes, he does so with power.
Meeks dishes to Monroe. Shot clock at 6. Pass to McCoy. Will not go. This is off the front iron. And for J.J. Hickson, an athletic, physical player, certainly, Steve, he fits with the Nuggets style, it seems.
So, yeah, the way they come at you in transition and in waves and, you know, all those big men offensive rebounding. I mean, that's a good fit, but, you know, he had to deal with that ACL tear back in March of 2014. So he's just rounding back into shape and trying to find his explosion again.
That's going to be over and back. Not watching for the line that time. For the Pistons, Tolliver comes in for Greg Monroe. And it's Butler in for Jody Meeks. Terrell Arthur, he's checked in for Denver. Barton comes in for Randy Ford. Shot from 12. That one a little long.
And in the paint, they have really shown some strength. Their work on the boards has been phenomenal.
Yeah, I'd certainly call it a mismatch, Steve, at least for today.
The Nuggets trail by 11. Nelson with it. Now guarded by McCoy. Hickson kicks to Arthur. Outside Butler. Pass to McCoy. There's the bucket. Good. And a closer look here at the hustle stance for the Pistons.
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ballgame.
And I love their hustle because they're getting a lot of second-chance opportunities just as a result of playing hard.
Arthur kicks to Barton. Nelson, no one around him. Nelson with another miss.
Tell you, he had all the time in the world to get that shot.
To the paint, here's Tolliver. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Kevin, it's disheartening to see them keep missing opportunities to extend the lead.
A different look here for the Pistons. Andre Drummond's checked in for Tolliver. Monroe comes in for Sean Williams. Tayshaun Prince is checked in for Butler. And it's Jody Meeks in for Contavious Caldwell-Pope. The Nuggets also changing it up. Nurkic checked in for Hickson. Fareed comes in for Terrell Arthur. And Wilson Chandler's subbed in for Gallinari. So on the floor for Denver, Chandler and Fareed are at the forward spots. Will Barton is out there with Nelson. And it's Nurkic in at the center position. He's checked in for Detroit. John Lucas comes in for Brandon Jennings. Now here's Drummond. Defense is right there. Prince, the pass to McCoy. 6 to shoot. Offensive rebound. For Denver, they've gotten just under 45% of their attempts to drop in the fourth. 4 of 9.
I tell you what, that's just a major unforced error right there, guys. My goodness.
A different look here for Detroit. Sean Williams checks in for Andre Drummond. And it's Caldwell-Pope in for Tayshaun Prince. Laverne, he's checked in for Denver. Nelson dishes to Barton. Nelson outside. Doubled by McCoy. And Fareed kicks to Chandler. Shoots from the line, and he gets the jumper to drop. So for the Pistons, their last game a loss to the Pacers in Indiana. Lucas the pass to McCoy.
The defense keeps coming up short. Just no solution for B. He's got 13 points, and he's chalked up 1 3-pointer on the day as well.
Now, a lot of times, he's one of those players who can get hot and stay hot from the three-point line. So I look for him to continue to search for shots out there.
You heard talk last year of the NBA perhaps considering adding a 4-pointer as a shot. Something you only really see in celebrity games for charity, and it would certainly have had a huge impact if it was implemented. But I think that would be a reach, folks. Let's stay with the three-pointer.
Anthony Tolliver. He's checked in for the Pistons.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, dominating performance for Detroit.
But, Steve, you don't see this kind of a blowout often. But tonight, this is a quality win across the board to deliver out, Clark, this kind of punishment to
Well,
him.
you know what? I thought they did a nice job of playing against the game. They kept the pressure on and clearly were dominant in every area.
And you can mark this one down in the W column. It'll mark their 23rd of the season.
They wanted this win badly, guys. A loss would have meant a sweep in the season series.
I agree. They did not want that to happen. Even against opponents outside your conference, who you only see twice a year, getting swept is not a good feeling.
Beyond the actual result, he constantly find them more often than not.
They grab their own miss. Tries again. The shot by Hickson, no good.
And this game is finally getting away from them.
Yep, it has gotten away. There's not really anything they can do now.
The Pistons have gone 7 of 15 from the floor here in the fourth, right around 46-47%. Lucas with it. There's the pass to McCoy. Count it from 12.
Terrific job taking care of business in front of the home fans.
And, Steve, I thought those home fans, gave this team a big lift all game. A lot of positive energy in the building.
And so it's the Pistons taking care of business here. How much?
Yo, remember back on the bully when cats used to harmonize like...
From suburban Detroit, we proudly bring you the Pistons at the Palace of Auburn Hills. For the Detroit Pistons, they coming off a good outing against Denver. And I don't think...
It's go time. Check in.
I'm on it.
Barnett.
Back on the floor.
So it's Minnesota now. 15-point game. They come into this one following the loss to the Grizzlies.
Well, Clark, they really shot terribly from downtown in that one and eventually paid the price for it.
They sure did. I mean, sometimes you can make up for poor three-point shooting with a strong inside game, but theirs wasn't quite strong enough.
So on the floor for Minnesota, they've got Nikola Pekovic. Wiggins is out there with Jang. And it's Levine in at the 1. He's checked in for Detroit. Pistons leading by 12. Shot on the wing. And it hung on the rim, but wouldn't fall for him.
You know, they've been beating this club to a lot of loose balls and rebounds here early on.
Love the work ethic they've come out of the locker room with.
Here's Levine. Here's Pekovic. And yes, sir, that one drops. Pekovic has got his first bucket of the night.
And you got to put bodies on the glass right there. They just are not getting it done on the boards.
Yeah, they've got to do a much better job of going harder than that to the glass.
Nikola Pekovic might be the strongest player in the league. Guys, 6'11", 285, and power lifter's physique. He's impossible to move once he gets position.
Here's Dang, covered by Monroe. And Zhang kicks to Levine. Here's Pekovic. No good, not a friendly rim at all this trip down.
This touch has disappeared on him this quarter. He just hasn't been able to get it going.
Over to the wing. Here's McCoy. Drains the 19-footer. And his old high school coach is an attendee at today's game, Clark. I believe they still stay in close contact, even though he's now in the NBA.
And, you know, you always have to keep perspective by remembering where you came from, no matter what you're doing, but certainly in the NBA. And it's nice to see that he does that while still staying in touch with his old coach.
Great job. Taking right at the defense. I like the aggressiveness.
Yeah, he left him no choice but to foul there.
A different look here for Detroit. Tolliver comes in for Greg Monroe. And Caron Butler is subbed in for Tayshaun Prince. Timberwolves also changing it up. Payne, he's checked in for Nikola Pekovic. Budinger comes in for Wiggins. And Gary Neal subbed in for Martin. Timberwolves trail by 10. 46 seconds left in the first. Here's Budinger. Buries the long-range jumper. Budinger's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Detroit's gone 4 of 8 on their three-point attempts, doing a lot of work from way outside here in the first quarter. Dishes it to Payne. Not wasting any time and taking the shot and knocking it down.
Well, you knew the run would come, and here it is. They're playing well now, trying to get back in this thing.
Yeah, pretty good comeback effort here. Rolling along nicely, and they've gotten themselves within striking distance now.
And it's Butler missing. Here's Levine. He had 15 points last outing. Pass to Payne. Here's Levine. The feed now to Neal. The three ball. The shot is off. The basket's coming early and often in the first quarter. It's Detroit. They're up by 5. And we'll get things started in the second quarter when we return. Here for the Pistons, Greg Monroe. He's checked in for Drummond. Sean Williams checks in for Anthony Tolliver. B's checked in for Butler. And it's Jennings in for Jody Meeks. Big group substitution now for Minnesota. Nikola Pekovic is checked in for Payne. Zhang comes in for Kevin Garnett. Wiggins is checked in for Chase Budinger. And Martin subbed in for Levine. McCoy, he's in at shooting guard. Sean Williams is out there with Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Then there's Jennings. And it's Monroe in at the 5. That's the 5 on the floor for the Pistons. And Doris Burke has something for us. Hey, Doris.
Gentlemen, as you know, Andrew Wiggins was taken as the first overall pick of a talented 2014 class, but should have no problem with the pressure. He's been hyped as the next big thing for quite some time. He said, I think playing at Kansas really prepares you for this. You're basically treated like a rock star wherever you go. I think that really translates to the NBA. Gentlemen,
Unlimited potential, Doris. Thank you very much. And it's Martin.
Boy, taking it hard to the rack for the big throwdown.
And give an unofficial assist, Clark, to his teammate for setting the screen that freed him up.
Yeah, good call, Kevin. That was really the key to the play. That's a shot that he sometimes struggles with, but you can't fault him for taking it when the defense backs off like that. Well, you knew he'd win that race.
Definitely. I mean, that's what you call early offense.
Over to the wing. There's 38 seconds left to play here in the half. Knocks it loose and stolen by Pekovic. Wiggins kicks to Neal. High arcing shot. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points. 7 points for Nikola Pekovic.
Well, they're not shooting as many from outside here in the second quarter.
Well, they were shooting well early on. I like their spacing and their offensive flow. I think they need to get back to that. What a floor leader he's been at the offensive end.
You know, he's done a terrific job of moving the ball around, sharing it, dispersing it, and running the show.
Left side, Martin. Pekovic inside. Monroe on him. And that one's good. Pekovic. 5 seconds left now here in the second. Here's McCoy. That misses. Would have counted had it gone in.
All right, listen up. Terrific job so far. The fans are into this game, and we're going to keep them there.
Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter just about.
All right, you're up.
Oh, yeah.
Sean Prince. And then for Minnesota, Payne, he's checked in for Nikola Pekovic. Anthony Bennett comes in for Kevin Garnett. And it's Budinger in for Martin. So on the floor for Minnesota, they've got Budinger. Payne out there with Anthony Bennett. Then it's Wiggins, and it's Levine at the front.
Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. When the pigs try to get it, park it like it's hot. Park it like it's hot.
There you go, fans. Your Pistons.
And how about we check out the group of rookies with the best percentages from the charity stripe this season? Adrian Payne on top, Andrew Wiggins third.
Tremendous form and confidence. That's what these two have in common when it comes to shooting free throws.
You're exactly right, and it's very noticeable, too. I mean, every time they've gone to the line in their rookie year, they've gone there extremely self-assured.
Pistons leading by 21. Jennings passes to McCoy. Detroit, no good that time either. For Minnesota, they've gone 3 of 6 in the third quarter, 50% from the field.
Chase Budinger, former volleyball star, still has that leaping ability, but has dealt with a knee issue over the last couple of seasons. Trying to get back to 100%.
I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen throughout, just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively turning into quick points.
And that's not going to be able to continue if they hope to get back into this game, Clark. It's a deflating play for your morale.
And a wide open look here for Wiggins with nobody on him. He buries the jumper. Wiggins has got 5 points in the quarter. And Budinger, when healthy, Clark a good floor spacer from three-point range.
You know, he's got good lift on the shot. And, of course, he's able to finish above the rim as well. He's been a solid defender and rebounder, too.
Here's Levine. Timberwolves also down. Gorgie Dang comes in for Chase Budinger. And Gary Neal subbed in for Wiggins. Jang dishes to Payne. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. And a look now at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for the Pistons.
So far, they've turned in a fantastic performance from the three-point line. It's been a weapon all game.
And I'll tell you, the other thing, guys, is the mid-range shot has been something that's really worked well for them tonight.
Payne hits them both. Pistons leading by 21. Jennings passes to McCoy. And not sure what he was thinking there. Minnesota's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. Here's Levine. Rebound by Greg Monroe. Monroe's got 4 rebounds in this game.
Ouch. Another miss to add to what's been a miserable game for him from the field.
And that one's good. Here's Levine. He's got 6. Down low, and so it looks like the Timberwolves will retain possession here.
He had no choice.
That's how we do it. Good work.
All day long.
Davius Caldwell-Pope with an almost entire new group here. Anthony Tolliver. He's checked in for Drummond. Sean Williams checks in for Monroe. B's checked in for Caron Butler. And John Lucas is subbed in for Brandon Jennings. Minnesota also making some changes. Kevin Garnett is checked in for Bennett. And Wiggins is subbed in for Gary Neal. McCoy in at shooting guard. Sean Williams is out there with Anthony Tolliver. Then it's John Lucas. And it's Caldwell-Pope in at the 3. That's the group for Detroit right now.
Well, tonight's battle is going to end with a very clear winner, leaving nothing to chance. An impressive win for Detroit.
You're right there, Steve. And one area that stands out that we've seen tonight from them, Clark, their aggressiveness in getting steals, something I know that you really value yourself.
Well, it deflates the opposition when you can be pesky defensively, and then it sparks your offense, and that's what happened for them. When you have the type of effort we saw tonight, it's hard to overcome that kind of defensive pressure.
And so this is going to end up as victory number 24 on the year.
They simply refuse to let their opponent off the hook in either game of this season series. That's why they're going to finish the year with a record of 2-0 against the Timberwolves.
You look at the stats and you'll see just how dominant a game this was for Jennings. And the way he was able to dice up their D with his passing really made things easy for everyone on his team on offense. Nice touch near the hoop.
Now 8 seconds separating the two clocks. Lucas kicks to Caldwell-Pope. Deflects the pass and stolen by Wiggins.
And nothing you can do to salvage this one at this point. Game over.
Not anymore. Any chance they had is gone.
Levine passes to Wiggins. Pulls up from the corner. The rebound by Caldwell-Pope. Lets it go from deep. No good. And so it's the Pistons taking care of business here. And this one was such a lopsided victory.
They never let up. They were full throttle from the start.
So that'll do it for now. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for joining us for this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. We'll see you next time.
Hey, Coach was shaking, baby.
Too many of these old bones.
Hey, so what'd you think?
I think I was lucky to coach you as a high school player. You are a natural.
Hey, thanks, Coach, but I had a really great teacher.
Oh.
I gotta get to the locker room. It's good seeing you, all right?
All right, I can't wait to see you.
All right, man.
Good job.
Thank you.
Greetings, everyone, from Charlotte as we bring you an Eastern Conference contest live from the Time Warner Cable Arena. Great to have you with us, everybody, live on 2K Sports. Ron Butler's checked in for Detroit. Just under 3.5 minutes gone here in the first quarter. On the floor for Detroit, Monroe and Drummond there inside. Jennings and Meeks in the backcourt, and it's Butler in at the 3 spot. Meeks dishes to Jennings. Passes it to Butler. 6 on the shot clock. It's back to Jennings. The Hornets pull it in. They defeated Indiana in their last game.
You know, so often in the NBA we talk about how you have to earn your points the hard way, but it didn't seem like that was the case. Everything came pretty easily.
Too many of their points came the easy way, Steve. You're right. On dunks and layups against a defense that didn't really put up much resistance.
And now looks like we've got an injury here, guys. We'll likely see him come out of the game.
Yeah, he's not.
You sure can, Steve. I mean, it's difficult to say exactly how serious it is, but hopefully we'll have an update soon.
Bees checked in for Brandon Jennings. And the Hornets making a change here. Williams. Now, Doris.
In the break, guys, I listened in on Stan Van Gundy's huddle. He made no secret the #1 thing he wants to see from his guys in all-out assault on the offensive glass, even if it comes at the expense of giving up some points in transition. The second thing he got into with them regarded getting the ball into the post, saying, quote, the passing lanes will be open for us. We have to use that to our advantage and get the ball inside. Guys, we'll just have to watch how it plays out here in the first half. Kevin, back to you.
All right, Doris, thank you very much. Another shot, and the layup good by Jefferson. Jefferson's got his second basket.
Nice early advantage for them on the glass, guys.
You know, part of rebounding well early is just going after the ball and boxing out. I mean, establishing that tone so that you can maintain it later in the game.
Butler kicks to Drummond. The jump hook, and the shot is good. There's 1:17 left to play in the first. A lot of questions about what exactly is the best fit for Drummond on the floor. And Steve, I mean that both in what position he plays and who he pairs up with inside.
I think that's the key, Kevin. It's really who he's paired up with. You know, last year's Pistons team just didn't have enough floor spacing, so the paint was clogged. But if you get Drummond with some shooting, particularly a stretch 4, to really open up the court for him, man, that's scary.
They get it again. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
And he just used his height that time down low. That's going to be pretty hard to defend against.
Charlotte trailing. Williams passes to Walker. Doubled by McCoy. Zeller with it. He's picked up by Drummond. And he gets the bucket.
Most any NBA player can make you pay when you leave them that wide open. That's why you have to stay alert on defense.
Meeks dishes to Butler. Here's McCoy. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. Here's Kid Gilchrist. Oh!
Look out!
He has a highlight reel unto himself, guys.
Yeah,
wow.
that could very well be a contender for Dunk of the Year and perhaps might make its way all over the internet.
I'm with you. I'm with you, Clark. That's a crowd pleaser if I've ever seen one.
Williams inside. And a wide open look for Walker. Good, and it's Williams who picks up the assist. Walker's got 5.
Well, I like the way he orchestrated in tight that time, fellas.
All right, the second quarter beginning. Just Williams. And then for Detroit, Andre Drummond's checked in for Prince. And B's subbed in for Butler. And Detroit looking at who they've got. McCoy, he's in at the point. Williams is out there with Anthony Tolliver. Then there's Andre Drummond, and it's Caldwell Pope in at the shooting guard. Detroit's gone 1 of 2 on three-pointers here in the second quarter so far. It's not very often you can say this about the future is looking pretty bright in Charlotte.
So often the season ends and you're thinking about the issues you've got to deal with, but right now the Hornets headed in a good direction.
Outside, Walker. Stevenson kicks to Anderson from beyond the arc, and another 3 for Charlotte. Pistons trail by 3.
And for Charlotte, as you said, part of it is feeling good with their direction, but also they should feel good that they actually have a direction after the way the last few years have gone.
From deep. No good from McCoy. The Hornets have gotten exactly half their shots to go down here in the second, 5 of 10. Stevenson passes to Henderson, and the shot is good. Now it's a 5-point Hornets lead.
Having a direction, as you mentioned, had been a problem with Charlotte because they seem to change their minds every year about who they were going to be, and they did it for the last decade or so. Now it seems as though the base is solid, and they've got an idea of how they want to build and who they want to build around, and they've got a group that can grow together.
And Walker kicks to Henderson. Doubled by McCoy. Walker dishes to Biombo. And here's a list of players that have been coming through for their team on both ends of the floor. The point guards with the most steals over the course of the last month. In the third spot, Kemba Walker.
And not only are these players tremendous at picking ball handlers' pockets, but as terrific point guards, they know how to clog passing lanes and come up with a lot of steals that way as well.
Absolutely. Their steals come from all over the court and in all sorts of situations. Transition, half-court sets, out-of-bounds plays, in the lane. They are the NBA's most complete defenders at the one-guard spot.
Here's what Charlotte's going with right now. Jefferson comes in for Vonleh, and Michael Kidd-Gilchrist subbed in for Gerald Henderson. Hornets have gone 6 of 11 from the floor, over 50% shooting here in the second quarter. Here's Stevenson. The rebound by Caldwell Pope.
Usually if he gets to the rim, he's converting it into points. But the defense stood tall there.
No good from McCoy. Charlotte has gone 1 of 2 on three-pointers here in the second quarter so far. Kidd-Gilchrist, the pass to Walker. Dumped by McCoy. Out of bounds, Detroit takes possession.
Well, that's inexcusable to throw a pass that far off the mark.
Cody Zeller's checked in for Charlotte. 34 seconds left in the first half of the game. Pass to McCoy. He tries for 3. Walker with some nice D.
That's some more rugged play from them inside. They have a decent edge in rebounds thus far.
And that hard work on the boards needs to continue. That could be what swings this game eventually.
Another bucket in the paint? That's something they just have not been able to stop today.
I think it's time to make some adjustments defensively, Clark. I mean, what they've got going right now is not getting it done. That's 3 in a row, guys. 3 three-pointers consecutively. These guys are just raining in shots.
Yeah, the defenders can't be as soft as they've been on the perimeter there.
Yeah, the defender draped all over him.
Pretty plain and simple. Got him good there.
First trip to the line for him here.
Last game he turned in a really nice performance at the charity stripe.
Yeah, it really stands out when you look back at the numbers from that one.
Guys, he is close to where he was last year in that category, but his numbers are still down just a skosh.
Well, despite tying things up, he's still shaking his head, knowing he could have given them the lead.
He gets it up. No luck. Second quarter ends.
Well, guys, I'm here with Al Jefferson.
All right, listen closely, man. I've got a few things to touch on. We're going to turn this from a close game.
And it's been a back-and-forth game so far with no ground given through the first half.
Let's see what you got.
Biombo, he's checked in for Jefferson. Vonleh comes in for Zeller. And Mo Williams subbed in for Kemba Walker. Detroit also making some changes. Anthony Tolliver. He's checked in for Drummond. Williams comes in for Tayshaun.
Hammer time! Hammer time! I don't know that this is the time for that. In a close game, the important thing is the 2 points, not the dramatic.
Oh, come on, Clark. He had to go for it, didn't he?
I'm with you, Kevin. You can't fault him for that. I mean, just let him go. Who cares?
And here is Kidd-Gilchrist. 8 points for him. He kicks to Williams. He dishes it to Henderson. Back to Williams. And he lays it straight in. And now just a 1-point Detroit lead. Detroit's gone 6 of 14 with the 3-ball tonight. Just a little over 40%.
Well, Gerald Henderson is not the most lethal outside shooter, but I really like the way he's learning to move without the ball. He's very opportunistic with his cuts whenever his defender turns his head.
And Henderson most comfortable, it seems, Steve, shooting from the corners.
Yeah, like most players, Kevin. That's the easier shot, 22 feet instead of 23.9. He shot a good percentage from there. Not really a long-range shooter per se, which is why you didn't see him, shoot effectively from the top of the circle or on the wings.
Drummond's checked in for Detroit. Meeks passes to McCoy. There's the three. It's rebounded by Charlotte. Here's Henderson. Good. The nice assist for Williams. Williams has got 3 assists tonight.
Of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is major smash mouth basketball, guys.
Love it. Old school. Just physical play in the paint. Dominating.
Williams double team. Stolen by Monroe. He's all alone. Goes up. Throws down the breakaway jam. Clark, third quarter here, and 5 lead changes so far.
Yeah, it's really been a bit of a tug of war. Back and forth we go.
Yeah, both teams playing well. Neither club able to pull away.
Now let's go to Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, Kevin, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist is developing his jump shot, but he's got everything else in his game. As Coach Steve Clifford said, first, he's an A1 competitor, and he's one of the few guys in the league that can night in and night out defend primary scorers and make it hard on them. He's team first. He just brings so much to our team. Gentlemen, back to you.
A great energy player, Doris. Thanks. Gets it to go. That one good from McCoy.
He's been key for this team's offense, the way he's distributed the ball.
Yeah, the offense is just moving through him, Steve. No doubt.
Williams dishes to Henderson. To the wing on the left. 6 to shoot. From 16 feet away, he cans it. Henderson's got 15 points. The Pistons have gone 7 of 13 in the third quarter so far, just above 50%. The pass to McCoy. No good on the 3. Charlotte has gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Williams attacking. 5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Up top, Henderson. Play in the third. Caldwell Pope kicks to Monroe. It's rebounded by Kidd-Gilchrist. Kidd-Gilchrist has got rebound number 5 here tonight. And the release was before the buzzer, but it's off target. And let's quickly have a look at the State Farm assist of the game. Deciding to change it up. 9 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. On the floor for Detroit, McCoy in a 2-guard. Sean Williams is out there with Anthony Tolliver. Then it's John Lucas, and it's Caldwell Pope in at the 3 slot. And so it's Detroit with the W. They pulled off this win, Clark, with respectable performances on both ends of the floor.
Yeah,